All right. All right. All right. All right. Asheville. Asheville, are you ready for the first show of the evening, Asheville? My name is Charlie. I'm going to be stage manager for a little bit. So glad I get to welcome you to this beautiful experience you are a part of this evening. And we are going to mention some sponsors. Thank you so much to our general sponsors, Wicked Weed and Worthwhile Sounds. Thanks also to our premier sponsors, Bear Smokehouse, the FIRC group featuring the Cambria Hotel, Issa's Bistro, and more. We also want to make a special mention of our nonprofit partners, Black Wall Street, Campaign for Southern Equality, yes, Homeward Bound, Woof Woof, and Riverlink. We also have a special mention of our media partners, WNCW 88.7, I am AVL. And now, without any further ado, please join me in welcoming Poetry Cabaret.
Honey. When a man walks into the bar, sits down, and proceeds to cover himself head to toe in honey until the 32-ounce bottle is empty, I kind of understand. None of us is ever that far from that man at any time. As the water from the running faucet, forgotten, overspills the mop bucket. One drop too much. One shove over the line. And you could be the one wandering off into the night, glistening, anointed, leaving honey footprints behind. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to AVL Fest. Kicking off AVL Fest tonight. We're happy to be a part of it. This is the Poetry Cabaret Asheville Poets Showcase. So, as the name implies, we're showcasing some really awesome poets from Asheville for you tonight. This is Aaron Price on the piano here. Thank you, Aaron. I'm a resident music director. And we have some wonderful performers for you. We're gonna get to. I got another poem or two. We are live as well on I Am AVL and Sovereign Kava YouTube. Big shout out to Independent Arts and Music Asheville. Thanks to the crew over there and all the work they do. Catch the stream and a lot of the AVL Fest streams. Absolutely. We're happy to be with y'all tonight. If you're tuning in out there, send us a comment. We love to hear from our viewers. And by the way, thanks to Sovereign Kava for having us tonight. Many thanks to Sovereign. And, oh, by the way, my name's Caleb Beisert. It's a pleasure to be with y'all. How y'all doing? Very good. Cool. Yes, indeed. I host the open mic, the poetry open mic here. We do every Wednesday night So check that out. It is Asheville's longest running open mic and voted best. So that's every Wednesday right here at the bar. We got a whole lot of other good stuff coming up tonight, including the Chicamo Marimba Band right after the show tonight. So stick around for that. And y'all have a great AVL Fest. This poem is called To a Random Person at the Bar. My psychotherapist says I'm paranoid, but I have pictures of the helicopters that were following me. Night. We spray ourselves with catnip and go lie in the yard and wait for the cats to come so we can do cat angels. And this one's called Roadkill Horse with Rainbow. When the textbook tells you the entrails of a thoroughbred stallion could wrap Earth 7 times over, you don't expect to see that across 8 lanes of a highway. The concrete meadow of carnage makes you rethink the naive work of the classroom. The blossoming shock as clouds open and rays of sunlight move across the mixed media of road and what is no longer horse. This is real life anatomy spread before you. You speed right through it, going 75. All right, thank you very much, y'all. Appreciate you being here. I'm super excited tonight because I get to showcase some of my favorite poets here in Asheville that I've met through the years doing the open mic and poetry cabaret and all these other events. So I'm very happy to welcome them. Our first poet tonight has been a long-time resident of the open mic since like Eagle Street days. I know we got a few people who remember that. And is now host of our brand new sister open mic, poetry open mic, Hendo, at the Shakedown Kava Lounge in Hendersonville, Thursday nights at 7:30. Wow. It's, is that tonight? Yeah. All right, we better get you up here then. Y'all, please give a big warm welcome for Michael Coyle.
Thank you, Caleb. Yeah, no, I've got the delightful chore of heading down to Hendersonville in the evening traffic that has grown so beautifully and exponentially since I moved here 20 years ago. Being a poet in Nashville, of course, is an incredibly well-paid gig. And, there are all sorts of opportunities for leisure time, not having to pay mortgage, rent, what have you. We have endless amount of time to engage in activities of our choosing. So for the past year or more, I have been kind of taking part in the psychedelic renaissance you may have heard of going on. MDMA, there you go, may have heard of a little renaissance. MDMA is probably going to be legal next year for therapeutic use. Psilocybin's not too far behind. And it seems like a number of things are coming to fruition that have been a long time in the making culturally. It's strange. The guy who manufactured 95% of the world's LSD in the 1990s, and he's now connected to me on LinkedIn. Right, which is really totally bizarre. Leonard Pickard, yeah. But it wasn't always that way. In 1970, Timothy Leary was arrested for 2 marijuana cigarettes, and he was put into jail. And he did something pretty great. He had his lawyers submit this docket to the Supreme Court of the United States, and he basically made his case for why he was in need of getting out of prison. And then, without waiting for a response, he had the Brotherhood of Eternal Love bust him out of prison the very next day, which is kind of a fantastic little twist of fate and history. But I've always admired Timothy Leary for kind of being the person to shout above the rooftops and to cry out and to sort of remind us that we need freedom, and that if we want freedom, we have to take it. So this is that docket that he submitted, the document that he submitted to the Supreme Court. I think it's a delightful little bit of something. The unlawful imprisonment of Timothy Leary and his family signals a grave danger to the spiritual and political welfare of the United States of America. Rosemary and I are eagles, totem animals of this land, wild, free, high, proud. Our children are eaglets, fierce, stubborn, wild birds. We are in prison because we are American eagles. We are not free because we have become symbols of freedom. Laws have been passed against eagles. They've hunted us to the ground, rashly, wickedly, and in violation of national law, because we flew high above the cities, the valleys, and mountain peaks. Because we cried freedom. Because the beat of our wings sang freedom. America cannot pass laws against eagles, because the eagle is America. Life, liberty, and the soaring, joyous flight. The eagle is no longer our tribal symbol. The turkey has become the national bird. Look around. Look around. There are no eagles left in the sky. The wild birds have vanished. All the eagles have been slain, wounded, caged, or are in hiding. The songbirds wisely are concealed. Timothy, be cool. Don't fly where they can't see you. Don't scream freedom. They have sworn to fell you. Oh, we cannot change. It's the nature of the eagle to float high, to soar serenely, living symbol of freedom. If we eagles do not fly and be free, who will? This is the danger, O judges, that the wild birds will be forgotten. They will forget that the eagle is our totem. They will forget it has happened before. That was your problem, Timothy. The young. You should have stayed hidden on your mountaintops. You created anarchy in the hen coops and confusion in the turkey runs. The judge was right. You are irresponsible. You are pleasure seekers. All the young birds started to fly. It was a disaster. They smashed their wings against the bars. Young chickens beat their wings futilely and wept. A very few fell from rooftops. Many flew so far, they never returned to the hen coops. Thousands were hurt and confused. Millions were lost to society. the orderly process of domestication was disrupted. It was criminal responsibility to tell the young to become eagles. Oh no, beloved, we never told the eagles to be young. We said be free. Discover your deep wild nature and be true to it. Do your own thing. Timothy, that was your mistake. We warned you. The days of free flight are over. Illegal. Wild birds are vanishing. Poultry, poultry, poultry. The larks have disappeared, and the swallows. Billions of chickens are incubated, fattened, pre-packaged in yellow saran wrap, or crowded in metal cages where their eggs roll down runways. Do you know that the 1,400 men in your prison devour 30,000 chickens a year? Birds are business. No, we will not forget who we are. Our wild souls still beat. Our muscles strain against the bonds. When tides of ancient energy surge within, we tremble. We sit trembling in our cages. It's hard for the proud to be wild, but it is harder for the proud to be captive. We will not forget who we are. We pray that you, beloved, do not forget who we are either. Your scholarly friends grant that it was right for you to be eagles, but do not fly freely in public. Even your peacock friends who love you say that you are foolish. Oh, beloved, we never told you it was easy to be a wild bird in poultry time. We warned of the dangers. Great God, look up. You don't need a government commission to tell you that it is dangerous to fly too high or too early before you have tested your wings. You know that in your bones. Everyone knows where it's at. We warned you that the heights were dizzying. We never told you that it would be safe to be a wild one. We told you, beloved, that if you flew too far, you would lose your way back to the hen coop, that there were no heated or air-conditioned bird coats for the wild ones. No, we are not really against eagles. You are rare birds, and we wish you to survive. Eagles, we cannot leave in captivity. Soon we will die if we are not freed. Do you want us dead? Don't you know that America cannot live without eagles? If we die, beloved, you will waste away and die too. He has preached at length and breadth of the land, and I am inclined to the view that he would pose a danger to the community if released. Wild creatures of God cannot live in cages. Open the gates of metal. Freedom. 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 Fly high. Freedom. It's our nature to fly. Freedom. The time has come. Freedom. Fly, laughing in the image of God. Freedom. We cannot wait. Freedom. And with that, he broke out of jail. All right, if anyone wants to follow me up to Hendersonville, open mic, come on with me. I think I got a slot in the car.
All right, Michael Coyle, everybody. Thank you very much, Michael Coyle. All right. And thank you all for being here. If you're just joining us, this is the Poetry Cabaret Asheville Poets Showcase. We're happy to be part of AVL Fest. Up next, we have Mildred Baria, who is a North Carolina-based writer, educator, and poet of East African descent. She's the author of 4 full-length poetry collections, most recently, The Animals of My Earth School, released by Terrapin Books 2023. I've also had the esteemed honor of nominating Mildred to be the North Carolina Poetry Society for the North Carolina Poetry Society Gilbert Chapel Distinguished Poet Series, and she's going to be our next distinguished poet. Congrats, Mildred. Y'all please give a big warm welcome for Mildred.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me right at the back? Okay, this is awesome. Thank you so much, Caleb, for inviting me and also for bringing us together. This is such a cool space, and I enjoy reading with poets and with music in the background, so this is really wonderful. And I thought I would start with 2 poems from this book, which is the latest collection, as Caleb has said, The Animals of My Earth School. But I'm going to start with one short poem from the manuscript that I'm working on, just because I always like to mix it up. And then I'll read 2 poems from this book, and we will have the next reader. And some of these poems are inspired or influenced by dreams or dreamscapes, and also the natural world, knowing that this is a book about animals, and it's structured in 4 parts. We have the insecta section, then we have the mammals, we have the birds, and then we have the reptiles. So the poems I'll read tonight are most likely to come from the mammals section. And the first poem I'll begin with is influenced by my interests in the tarot. And the title is 7 of Dragons. The water dragon is friendly. She will trick you to test the limits of your fantasy. You summon her, and out of puffy clouds, every choice you could ever dream of flows to you. Jewels, castles, flowers, and strong medicine to transmute the darkness float into your eyes. The partner you seek is in the air. Calm down, you sigh. Please, calm down. Shadows in the pockets of your black coat plead. But where shall you keep the bounty and steer clear of extremes? The human-headed lion seduces 3 lambs. We are roasting a chunk of tenderloin beef by the roadside. My older brother, my younger sister, and someone who looks like David from my high school. He laughs like David and talks like David. He's supposed to be telling us stories. He says he has good ghost stories. Where we are is new to me. I do not remember living or moving here, yet I own the orange apartment across the road. Other than a few shrubs and scanty dwarf trees, the ground is covered with loose white sand and concrete. We're in a city, but what city? Why aren't we in a park or some other picnic-friendly place? A few meters from our barbecue, we see a lion with a human head enticing 3 lambs. The lion tells them he knows a field of green pasture where they can feed to their fullest. He sticks out his tongue and slowly licks his mouth, cute and disturbing all at once. I expect the lambs to flee, but they begin fidgeting, scratching the ground with their cloven hooves. The lion steps forward, closing the distance between, and he grins. The lambs gaze at the lion's face. Have you ever looked into the dilated pupils of a lion's eyes? They are filled with peace and light, ambered appetite, persuasion. The lambs enter the land of believability and walk with the lion. We know he's going to eat them. He wants to fatten them for his own good. What is it in the realm of desire that elicits trust? Between the green and red traffic signs, what pushes pedestrians to ignore the solid amber light and cross the road? What urges cars to drive past a flashing yellow strobe? The sweet and pungent smell of smoked chilies, onions, and garlic flavors the air. I gather some sticks to beat the lion in case he comes back for us. If I close my eyes and listen deeply, I can hear the lowered pitch and muted resonance in the lion's voice, seeking obedience and, worst of all, sacrifice. Perhaps none of us can resist a lion clothed in a language that appeals to our senses. The lion works his magic, his golden eyes flecked with charm. And this last poem I'm reading is The Meat-Loving God. How is tending sheep preferred to tilling the land? Two young farmers valued their means of sustenance, but when time came to present their gifts, one was favored and the other cursed. We are warned to not compare apples with oranges, so I have no business pitting broccoli against the ram. But I do wonder how to enjoy my work with a thankful heart while awaiting criticism. To you, O Lord, I bring my choicest fruit for blessing. Trained in the ancient way, my labor in words I offer to you, King of words. I, too, have avoided blood, except on a few pages. The smell is horrible and makes me nauseous. At home, we worked the soil and kept a flock. Our livestock consumed what we did not use and grew fat, grazing on green grass, cabbage leaves, and carrots. Turnips, parsnips, and potatoes were tasty too. For animals to be worthy of slaughter, they must eat greens and fruit of the land. You and I are sovereign in our choices. Your image in me makes me like you. I am committed to the tasks of my hands, head, and heart. In the end, I admit, the jealous hand wields the knife and slices the throat. Anger management is rarely taught. At what point did we turn you into a monster? All those animals murdered for you, lambs and bulls, ate vegetables and grains. Cain and Abel, your sacrifices too, have taught us to judge harshly our offerings. I have welcomed the fugitive nature in all life, animals, plants, humankind, everything I hold dear. I am told the cockroaches will survive us all. Thank you.
Mildred.
That's right. One more time for Mildred, y'all. Thank you, Mildred. Oh, yes. I'm so excited to be here doing poetry with y'all. Thank you, everyone. Up next on the mic tonight we've got longtime friend with the Poetry Cabaret Collective, also does really cool shows on the Asheville Fringe Festival, and is taught in Charlotte at Queens and UNC. And we're longtime Asheville poet, not currently in Asheville, but we are so happy to welcome him back to Asheville today. Please welcome Justin William Evans.
Thank you, Kid Rock. That's a joke for about 5 people. Aaron, I know we didn't plan anything, but would it be possible to give me like some cool space music? Thank you. So, oh Jesus. Non-rhythmic, like maybe with a darker tone to it, maybe a little mournful. Good, good, good. I'm not very good at giving directions. Luckily, Aaron Price is a genius. So I wanted to. This is a new piece. I wanted to start it off with an epigraph. This is from the film Solaris. For a little context, it's a quote from a birthday party of a bunch of astronauts slowly becoming insane as they orbit around a giant planetary mind. It goes like this. In this situation, mediocrity and genius are equally useless. I must tell you that we really have no desire to conquer any cosmos. We don't know what to do with other worlds. We don't need other worlds. We need a mirror. We struggle to make contact, but will never achieve it. We are in a ridiculous predicament of man pursuing a goal that he fears and that he really does not need. Man needs man. This is Elon Musk as Dionysus masturbating on the lakeside grave of the shepherd Persimnus. There's an artificial moonlight on a brutalist miniature, a mausoleum that from here looks delicate, unpainted, like all the plastic models I never finished. That lights an open-mouthed blue that sweetens the concrete and makes the grass bitter. I can put my hand right through it and feel nothing, not even my hand. For a moment, the world feels more real with me not in it. And it's suddenly fuckable. It could take me into its weathered arms, blow the hair plugs from my scalp like a dandelion, rub its fingers on my bald head, and sing a song with not one single note I've ever heard. A song that starts with the words, God, won't you break my heart with hammers and with ants? Make me a bruise that reflects the sun and births some kind of life. God, won't you break my heart and dive down from heaven into its gears and use your teeth to murder me and drown my dreams with fever. God, won't you break my heart? Take me in your weathered arms away where you can make me. Jesus, everything's got to be sold before anything can be bought. Every single cell, every drop of blood, every thought. This blue linen moonlight, that green onion on the leaves, and the blankets of night birds, fever light that drives me all Roosevelt and velvet through the quarries I dig in my dreams for great glowing truffles beneath the ground. I see through it to the heart behind every heart on this earth. I see through the breathy moonlight, through the levers of planetary movement. I see through my hateful lens at the great dynamos of nature, the matrix of commerce who indebted us all to wire. I'd get hard looking through its lens, at the grass full of mirrors upgazing at my great face. I get as hard as an emerald, pulled from the earth with your weathered arms to hold me. And then, on the television, I see myself. Little Elon on the spaceship in the sky. In my too big for a boy captain's clothes, lightweight porcelain and so-do textiles manufactured by intelligent worms, writing every word that I say in a notebook. On the bridge, my crew weeps at the cosmos like angels and delicately injects the brain cells of fetal lambs into my veins. But I don't want anything. I want to be at the center of my life, somewhere else, because man is not made for man, gazing at the pretty planets, contents as ticks. I don't want anything. Not the present, not the world. I don't want its odd harmonies, its birds I cannot name, the noise of miracles, its mystery, its daily weight. I don't want the taste of water, the feel of warm skin in our bed, the grocery stores full of fruit and laminate. I don't want the oak tree that turns the sun into flesh, the paper cathedrals of wasps, or the chorus of whales singing stories through every ocean of the earth. I write down every word I say, and every word makes me. On this cold bank of the lake of death, basking in the light of the porno moon, looking down at the little grave of the giants I should be standing on, I stroke a shaft that I can't feel. God put a gun to all of our heads, a tunnel up to the stars. I chose to suck it until it comes, bright, loud, and hard. Thank you all. And thank you, Aaron Price.
Thank you, Justin. All right, we're gonna keep rocking with some poets for you. Another one of my absolute favorites. They've also helped me out hosting Poetry Open Mike Asheville many times, saving my ass, and here to do some kick-ass poetry for you. Hell yeah! Please welcome Trash Chameleon.
I have many names. Trash Chameleon is canceled. I love you all. This fractured silence, like pangs on the window, birds fly up to the window, pangs on the window. Hello, welcome to my antithesis of anti-material. I will be your guide today of all days. Yes, today, of course, the moon is full and ripe and ready for brulee as I will wipe my sweat into your mouth as your breath shudders in sweetness, combing honey into the sutures, and the moths lick me dry. Sip, sip. I bite if allowed, I bite if hungry. I'm still a shit for the in-betweenies, gobbling glizzy's Vienna sausage toes. My switch is on, my switch is off. Somebody's fucking with the breaker. Somebody's broken to bent and swallowed by white whale toes, numb in the wet paint, always driving its existence into me. Chill, damp, squalor. I'm ache and slime majora, bonded with your fear and blended dry, a forward motion picture into past, excursion into excellence, which is my channel. I'm changing it. I'm running around the issue, skating around the issue, lying in bed like a dog, blood's running hot. I skip and I grip and I break my heart down like a beat. It's chilling, hot flashes, gummy fed, handless, helpless. I'm sinking fast. I have so much to live for! But blindness invites itself in. I write for the heart, the heart, the heart, the heart, le cœur. Oh, it is such, it is such. I've come so far away from it now, like a picnic in the wind, daylight beaming, golden hours, but it is not right. Scum to be amiss. Pisses me off. The automatic sentry caving awry. I have been watching this war for over a century. It's just now winding their heads. I'm aware I veered into copacetic territory, a joke. Haha, we laugh. I've oscillated through much of what I imagine lives and living to be like. Gut me, oh pretend. I miss my brain chemicals and my friends' brain chemicals, which is button release for trust. Every line wants to write help in bloody letters on the bathroom stall, but these thumbs are fighting for a better world. If I could just excavate the doors and windows from your channels and tell them, it will all be okay. And show them nice prisms that shine bows in the light. So nice, so wonderful. They call it the mind chasm. It has very, very thick doors and a mustard diversion for sickos like me. Haha, we joke again. So here I will list the feelings I've had today. Embarrassment, shame, fear, and/or anxiety, and a deep, deep sadness. As a tear or two run down thy cheek, I grieve the baby grand piano. Panic attack every night, nothing to write home about. This drawn-out dance of compulsion, disgust, fear, analytics, amygdala. I have crossed the threshold. Endless piss, heavy heart, hardened head. Help, please. Anxiety. A friend says to just breathe. We hate to hear it, but we gotta know. Simple solutions like fresh tracks and new snow. Endless piss. Too much, too fast. Intermittent memory, scatter strings of weathered paper. Some holes in it, too. The question is not whether the hole exists, but yet how did the hole come into being? Sharp smash, circular smash. I feel contrived and weary. My bones are melting, fusing with my soul. I'm not really sure how this process works. There's too much brain. I spill, enduring some hellish fever of memory. Monsters. I am safe now, though. It's all really strange. I feel like I'm not allowed to say it. It's all very strange. And there's no mailman I know or FedEx employee who hasn't had that very same thought. How do you move through the immeasurable field of emotion caught in the windpass of complex dimensionality and clock-colored slippers? Where is the terror coming from? In my chest! Underneath and over the belly. Has it parted the Red Sea too, in a way? I won't speak about my organs because they're quite fleshy, bounded in time. It's happening in the edge of dawn. So much fear and fullness in tandem. Or what the hell is going on, or what the fuck is going on, or what the heck happened. I'm aware now that I'm evading the aperture of words or something. I have a strange relationship with the visual mind. It is of its own nature, and I am here to see. Good night, strange sand. Good morning, chrysalis. Guess it's time. Ticky-tacky, my bladder is a nuisance. Okay, so I should be more grateful because it holds the piss liquid, the liquid piss. But what I really mean is having to get up to pee is a nuisance. Oh my God, it feels so good to get that off my chest. Is it really this meticulous? It's all coming to a head now, and I'm stuck in vertigo, and my eyes have started wobbly behavior recently. I'm a fool, that is. I've weakened in strange ways, but healed in even stranger, like a bone and a dice in a bag. Lucky charms. I've got my voice back, barely. It's waning like the rest of me. Funny ha-ha while the moon moots to wax. I've got some questions. Has your distaste for so diminished? Well, too late, buddy. We got work to do. It's a difference in opinion. You've got yours, I've got mine, but some are such begging to be understood, drowning in Possum River. I've got you, I think, with the lights on, locked inside you. No way, not with the sharp tongue, you insist. I'm open wounded. I've been picking at scabs with joy and diversion, relief, renouncing my swollen hips. I don't know what to do without, but if I've got to figure it out, I guess I'll try to live real hard. Reminds you it's not nothing, it's everything. Continue movie title here. Oh, how humbled by unknowing. Oh, how special it all really is. I know I'm morose and sounding like a broken record, creepy as an acquired taste and slightly repetitive. Why can't you take me as I am? I love you. I have met my pitch of failure time and again, but mostly I rinse and repeat and say, no, bitch, you won't be getting the best of me. I have seen the Sand Library, and it's beautiful. Just kidding. I don't say that out loud or even think that until now. But I think it's really cool, I think, to hear the assembly of syllables and imagery as the proverbial ladder. Don't get caught underneath. It's not bad luck. It's just dangerous. Doing some research within, grabbing some encyclopedias from the self-developed Sand Library I've rendered on the inside. I can't really see it, but honestly, I can feel it, and that's all I've ever done, really.
Keep it going, y'all. Keep it going. Fantastic. All right, y'all. Our next poet, Holland Neen, is a poet who writes about their experience through the lens of being Vietnamese, trans, mask, and queer. Please give a big warm welcome for Holland.
Hi, I'm Holland. As Caleb said, thank you very much. I'm going to be doing a little poetry and playing my little keyboard. You're welcome to play with me. I'll be on black keys. And maybe doing a little song inspired by one of the poems. So I'm going to go over here now. Dead tongues. I tried to learn my mother tongue. But since it was not my mother's tongue, it did not fit in my mouth. The tones tasted of bark, bitter, dry, and foreign. A tree I would not ever breathe by, a stone I could not swallow. Mercy! I cried into the roots, but my pleas were English ivy, invasive. Chinwassery 1. I've been trying to return to the roots which were never my home. My body remembers, just not alone. It recalls and cracks, scars along the back of my head, the way the soles of my feet give way to bare clay. I've been collecting chip ceramics from an ancestry that I never learned how to pray to. But today I brought home an ornate cabinet. Pearl eggshells inlaid, cracked and rearranged back together, not unlike myself. I fixed the door with a chopstick, sawed a chip of it off, and wedged it into a hinge so it would hang just right. I don't know the proper procedure to grow a garden, but my hands have seeds, and the dirt will find a way. Chinwassery 2. I was brought up in a household filled with furniture of my bloodline. An altar where ceremonial incense was lit under photos of kin I did not resemble in passing. The traditional garb of my birth country hung on the walls as decoration, and I like nothing to be empty. Teeth. Last night, my mouth dropped a black tooth into the sink. It was a sharp one from the top row, but it came out looking like a molar. I hope it's not a wisdom tooth. My hand lifted it from the basin, and I examined it with a close nose. It stunk. I looked my reflection in the eye. I never raised my face to the looking glass in real life, and that's how I knew. Even though it all felt so waking, the feeling of my bones loosening themselves from my gums, filling my cheeks and clinking into the porcelain. God damn it. I hate repeating this fucking dream. It's all so real. The dream I keep dreaming, my teeth rotting from my head. Maybe it was something that I said. The bones fall like rocks into my palms, and the bloody spit stains my hands. It is sickening that when I am sleeping, I feel more alive than in my waking hours. Maybe that's why I sleep too much, or not at all. Sometimes when I'm in the thick of it and there's thrashing all around me, I get so scared my body will forget how to float. But then I remember there is a lighthouse in the people who find light in me, the ones who can trust that I hold myself as well as I hold them. I was never asking you to carry my bricks for me. I just wanted you to know I could bear them on my own. They witness me, hands wet from fishing stones from the riverbeds. They do not rush to pull me from the water, for they know I can swim. I was and have and always will be just fine fending on my own. Love is not forcing yourself into the current. It is being there when they get out.
Keep it going for Holland. Thank you, Holland. And now we have the indomitable, the amazing, the incredible Kevin Evans.
Oh, hello. I'm not sure about all that, but I've got some words to share. But thank you. Love Caleb, love Aaron, love all of y'all. All right, so I'm going to start with a piece I've probably never done. It's a little short one called Say, Say. And it's about saying or not saying or trying to read, I guess. I don't know. But so I wanted to start out with that one just because. You know the song Brandy Looking Glass? No, I'm not saying play that. But that's kind of what this was, that kind of vibe for some reason, the words. It's a little darker though. If I sit here long enough to listen to the chaplain, I bet he'd tell me of his days out on the range of the waves as a captain, with the captain. And he can tell the story concise in the delight of relevant caption. I bet you I'd strangely somehow see myself in his reflection, still not correct him or question the validity. War wounds and tattoos seen vividly up his sleeves. In his hand squeeze, eye to eye, I already saw me. Just because I'm listening still doesn't mean I'm following. So do you follow me? And so, how have you found me under this rock slab of a city? I am not top shelf. The suds just won't stay on the bottom, and so it saves face that the chaplain is not saying anything. He ain't telling. With conjured grace, a lager, an ale, and a plucked, stretched sour grape, just enough to pucker the lips, gently grimace the face. I sit here long enough to listen to the captain. His arms were always longer than mine. Perhaps I get here by following the captain, learning by instinct what to do when you are under spell of such thunderous, hungry degrees, pulling in and against gravity, magically navigating. I sit here long enough to realize that once again the chaplain is not saying anything. He ain't telling. but it doesn't matter now. He not noticing in his eyes, his handshake, he's already told the story. I need not stay or ask of old and stolen golden days. I just propose a toast and thanks for all the things we think we know, but never really say and never will say. Thanks. So this one's served. I think we did it before. How do I table sit down? Can't explain it. All right, so this next piece is called Serve. I think it's about being yourself and not being yourself, but also coming to the table. And also serving, of course. We reign in our bodies, the color of thunder, broke bread, hurt hue, on the mahogany table for supper. The same place they trophy case, pray, and argue. Then we take turns as each other. As shadows, that again, you are you, and I nobody. We are an ornery, motley bunch, aren't we? But we always eat in peace. At the end of the night, you were draped, dressed in mahogany. I obviously scream the same way you cry, enraged with torrid love, not hate, waste, wrenched and wedged. They sit in the seat where weapons are set as alarms going off by dawn. The chair's antique, stained with the age of wisdom in bombs and bonds. The hot seat is sweating and vibrating, and when you water it down, it cannot tell a lie. Yet the table itself regards not any shelf life. They packed themselves years ago into a box, a crate, grabbed a ladder and toted themselves to the highest, most inaccessible shelf in the pantry or a covered cupboard. Styrofoam brained and known only in black and white names. Trap the light in the attic and hang jewelry on the crying pity Christmas tree. She calls herself Joyless Judy and labels herself to be permanently on dreary duty. But fortunately, her mother is a quilt that is a tissue, and her father an enchanted midnight forest. Judy, she sang in the choir and in the chorus and gives all her porridge to the poor kids bored with wither weather. It rains in the river and the fish fry in the water in the summer in the jungle, jangled juice, juniper and bright bluebirds all around her. Extraterrestrial tears rain into the dirt, and so out of it grows a plant you never served. Maybe one more. I think this one's more about killing dreams and then finding them again with somebody. It's called Thunder Claws. It's kind of like a comic book type of story. And it has its dark spots, but don't mind that because they come out of all of that all right. Strangers have worked hard for many high and upside down noons to mutilate his character. When she first saw him, she was still shocked and disgusted by what she read in the papers. He said if only he could take her every place he's ever been backwards, then he would marry her. She was enamored by his brutal honesty, so scarred and battered in the mileage that dropped him off in the black moons and burnt manure stars. That is where they found each other, shortly after he mutilated his face in the mirror. He scratched out the white in his eyes. He scratched out half of his past. She made him pick it up and read it from the collapsible passages where he fought for ammo. Through fiery silver and gold, cocked and shot through smoke at an angle bendable. Strangers have worked hard for many robbed nights to mutilate his character until he was forced with his hands as knives to mutilate his face in the mirror. She said her name was Clara. He says in his head upon first sight, in that land filled on the edge of time, I will marry her. Clara had a jukebox in her mouth, and he was reincarnated in every breath she sang. She had all these songs for him upon request before he even hollered the names. He touched her, and she was shocked that such a monster undercover could make her feel so good and free. Clara ran away from a nervous hospital in a valley made of hot coal. She said she needed a protector. Said she would go anywhere but back to that death grove. They had to avoid the weather. She climbed on his back and he took her to a place no one's known, where the safest fire burns. She asks him, how many people have you killed? He answers, I don't know how to reply. In seconds, with his fingers and eyes, he tries to count all of the broken arrow-punctured stars in the gun-smoke sky. He says, I think it has been thousands of millions, but none of those strangers or villains that have almost forced me to die. I killed myself, babe, at least twice every day, every night of my life. She says, with milky river bubbling and sugar crystals in her eyes, I can relate. I've killed myself too on those slopes and treacherous slides, somewhere on the outside, somewhere in the outer bounds. Her halo is a crown, though burnt in spots, brown and black patches and scratches of turmoil. On the edges, the antennas are just some crumpled aluminum foil. As the milk spoils, it boils into whisked mist. She feeds his snapback her fingers and hands, his chocolate and fruit kisses in the middle of the most virile season. Here is where they seal the gates to the private, secret imperial kingdom. No one can harm them. No one can see them. In her song, the mutilated face of his is finally healed under the stars. She removes the porcupine quills as they sit upon the magic enchanted log in fiery pollen fog. They are out in the greenest lawn that some people call the underground graveyard for reincarnated wedding bell thrown and spawned underdogs. They are rubbed into safety beneath thunder claws. Thank you. Pleasure.
Kevin Evans, y'all. Kevin Evans. Thank you, Kevin. All right. Up next, we have a musical number for you. from Aaron Price, who has been syncing music to life since he was in the crib. Listening to his mom's piano students as an infant was his first and most important gig. Aaron has been working in Asheville since 1997 and has accompanied and collaborated with poets, jazz singers, improv comedians, silent films, prayers, yoga classes, cooking demonstrations, really? And romantic situations and strange hallucinations. But adding musical context to the spoken word might be his favorite way to make music.
There is room to breathe in here. There's no more space between my ears where I could fit a cross thought over you. Preach it, brother, to Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, y'all, up next on the showcase, we have Giovanni. Giovanni enjoys writing poetry and going on hikes with their 2 kids/dogs, Tucker and Rambo. They see poetry as the lens into the soul. The current writers they're reading include Tori Dent, Emily Dickinson, Anna Akhmatova, Paul Celan, Yehuda Machi, and Mahmoud Darwish. Please give a big warm welcome for Giovanni.
Hey, okay. So, just glad to be a part of this. Caleb, I know Caleb for quite a while, and I just love everything that he's about. So he asked me to do a couple of poems, and I'm just happy that he asked me. So this one is Lineage, Interpretation of the Bathers. They say the river bathers lie for Cézanne, sweet cream pours when its brush strokes over our heads and we rise in the canopy of drooping lilacs. What would it be to be a nobody who once had a care for a name? When he asks you to pivot, you come into your body where a part of you no longer needs a name, living in art. How would you like to know yourself as you know the bathers, where we do not need a name, but to lie blushing in a marble exhibition, voyeurs prowling, our privates fermenting in a wilderness. His sweet pre-cum cascading to a waterfall, smoothing us, his hand molding the protruding polder as we bathe under in the eye of Picasso, seeing the world, an ephemeral breeze necking our hair, edging our almond bodies to pink sensitivity in endless summer's conscious streams. Anthony Bourdain, it ends like this, the room you push against, the space finally gives in, your thoughts are gray, the silver of your hair in shades, expressive as your brow giving hint to a Leonard Cohen sensitivity. Your mouth communicates the social conscious hunger of your mahogany eyes, taking in the streets of Cambodia, Rwanda, the Congo, LA's Koreatown. The crew is fast asleep. A man squats by rivers to listen to the inhale and exhale of the Mississippi swamp, the serenade of ships from the salt dunes of Senegal, and something follows us among the shrubbery. It eats language alive. We return to the shelter of our lives. It is hard to know or how to feel, but each time that we go with you, a little less of you returns. It is a rite of passage, the road where shade illuminates the edges of a world, the waterfall descending into nothingness. And then there are the conversations of glorious dishes in people's love and laughter you bring into our homes. Thank you.
Y'all give it up one more time for Giovanni. Giovanni, is such an honor to feature you on this showcase of amazing Asheville poets. All right, we just got a little bit more poetry for you, and then we're gonna get out of here. We got the marimba band coming up, but first, please welcome back to the stage Mildred K. Baria. Give it up.
All right. There's a cat from time to time. This spotted and golden savannah with massive ears was getting eye injections, sticky tears burning its cheeks, claws trimmed, rendered useless. Easy meal. I was floating. That's the best part. Flew over traffic, golf courses and terraced hills, my lungs buoyant as I took in the mountain air. And this poem, last poem, it doesn't need any introduction. It's for Sandra Bland. Just a second. For Sandra Bland. I think of you when I remember Emmett Till, young and alive with hope, not knowing that a smile would be his death. At what point did your ribbons and bows twist into fetters? You drove from Illinois to Texas, the farthest south you could go, your spirit urging you to push past the limits of your body and embrace a fresh start. You tried to escape the darkness, my God, you tried. Rousing all your kings and queens, looked inside, looked outside for a place to slay the dark. It was everywhere, engulfed, how to break free. You loved life, knowing well there was plenty to kill us. Why do it yourself? What bothers me, that you'd fail reaching for freedom only to succeed with a trash bag. Grief packed into one word, asphyxiation. Tell me your story behind closed bars. In my version, you put your hand on my chest, mine on your chest, your heart beating like a drum. Do you miss the sound? I hold your body in my arms and breathe into you the feeling of home. Once or twice, your eyes flicker, but they don't stay open past University Drive. Let's do this, you say, trying to sidestep the demons. The old voices patrolling your body like a broken record stuck on repeat. Like memories, bodies are tricky, mapped with wounds in places you'd rather not dwell or make a home. Let's do this, echoes the vampire who's pulled you over and replaced the carpet of dirt and grass with old haunts. Lord, no, this can't be happening again. How do you evade what's everywhere? The South is a bitter place. The North has its savagery too, only subtler. Is it any wonder that you didn't wish to get out of your car? There was nothing new for you. The ground gave way. No, the officer yanked from under your feet your new crust and ripped it. No, the trooper pulled you out of your car and you stepped into the quicksands of darkness. There was no ground to hold you. The king is stricken. The queen is an old spider spinning with rage. But in my arms, I cradle you. Thank you.
Such powerful work. Y'all give it up one more time for Mildred Barra. Mildred, thank you so much for being here. And next, please welcome back to the stage, Fox.
Hi. I have some short poems. No bounds, no masters. We have hyperanalyzed the mistake of impulsion, and we denied, and our denial was denied, and we may be held accountable in a spiritual court of law. Welcome to the infinity spherical century. Hungry. Metabolism walks until it runs. I am out of fuel. I perceive your perception as rejection. I drive away. Stomach asks, why aren't you eating? I say, hey, wait with me. I am fighting for you. To ebb in wholeness, flow in softly, remind you of our mutual humility for the sake of this process, to live with love again. Bags. Things to keep, to burn, to cut up, to give away. We have to find those push pins, figure out the sunlight situation, dream, release. Knots of ambrosia, pickled and justified, a scoop of insignificance. Fuck. Manage the cycle. Clipped wings are null at the edge of center. As Saturn rings are speckled dust at the taste. I quiet down, now you quiet down. There is such a mess in the filing cabinet. It is strange and nuanced dimensionally, and skips kind of like a record. I think it has something to do with the heartbeat. Anyway, this is crazy, but do you want to hear how I crawled so deep inside myself that I'm clawing at the seams trying to bust out? It's kind of like a lifetime of stories, so we will have to get married or commit or something. Can I skip the part where I talk about my feelings? I have awakeism, not insomnia. It's different. It's just that I feel awake and I won't sleep. It always happens so fast, and there is no wrong way to do it. Got it, microbially. I really like to play and work and play all day. Escaping is a must in a waiting mist of seek and see. Sometimes the blind is the tunnel and the road is backwards, and you keep galloping to turn around. Maddening. Still, it is undeniable, that innate peak and slip, wanting that only one can understand in a pool of deep spatial love. I am afraid of the ghost's coughs, and I am also afraid to say that. Never the mind, what words and sounds does it take to elbow your whole heart, and how many repeats of critique murmur in the mind at the time of the accidents? Mistake made, easy, done. Whose game is the rumination? Please state the rules and when it is pertinent to bend them. I try not to break too hard. I get anxiety. What sweet disposition lives in the last hours before sleep commences, when the moon lips the sky or even sun spies the curtains? I am ready for this, unknowing. I just hope that the splinters in my heart have crystallized. I hope I am stronger. It is hard to see in the thicket. Thank you deeply and unabashedly for this moment that we share.
Keep it going, y'all. And keep it going, because we're bringing Justin Evans back up for one more. Give it up.
Hi again, y'all. So I wanted to read a poem from a series of what I like to call insult poems. These are poems that, you know, if somebody insults you in a bar, you can read one of these to them. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you can read it to yourself or scream it out the window. They're also just nice for catharsis. And this one is kind of a celebration of the word fuck. This is insult number 27. Fuck you. Fuck you to Fairbanks, fledgling as it appeared in 1903. Fuck you behind the ears. Fuck you with pride, posture, and reason. Fuck you until the stars all fall from the sky. Fuck you, and may the fuck be pure. Fuck you in front of your past self, like if we went in a time machine. Fuck you with a carrot peeler. Fuck you with a smile. Fuck you with the wrench. Fuck you with a red dog dick. Fuck you with a child's toy. Fuck you like water in the desert. Fuck you till I can't remember why I fuck you. Fuck you through the flooding streets in a summer rain. Fuck you like she dreams to fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you because I love you.
Fuck you because you try so hard, because you scream and you whine, you care and you forget and you cannot know. Fuck you till we're all fucked, till your bowls turn to spider's eggs and your ass births crying eels, till Christ man, hippie Christ, wine Christ, mountain Christ, water Christ, and blood Christ all come home to our doorsteps hungover and stoned to fuck us all into brotherhood with their stiff, weeping cocks. Fuck you. And may my fuck you be a blessing. And may we give thanks to the God that poured himself like from a bottle. And may we all wake up to pretty girls and a big breakfast before we all go back to work. Thanks.
Everybody, Justin William Evans. It's been an amazing night. Thank you so much for coming to Poetry Cabaret and Asheville Poets Showcased for AVL Fest. Please join me in thanking all of our performers tonight. Michael Coyle, Justin Evans, Mildred Baria, Fox, Holland, Kevin, Aaron, Giovanni. Oh, yeah. And me, I'm Caleb Weiser. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful night. Big shout out to the crew tonight. And I am AVL and AVL Fest. Stick around for the marimba band.